Good morning. Welcome to 90 Minutes with Mathematical, coming to you live from the studios in Wasimi, near Abeokuta in Ogun State. It pours when it rains. It's been a very sad 4 months for Nigerian sports. Too many sports heroes have passed on at a very young age or at young ages. This past few months started with Moses F. Young, Christian Chukwu, Charles Bassey, Obisi Anwakpa, and in the last 2 days, Peter Rufai. Let me use this opportunity to send our sincere condolences to the families of all these great superheroes of Nigerian sports, and to all Nigerians, all the fans of sports in Nigeria. We pray that the Lord will strengthen their families and make them to bear these huge losses. Today we are dedicating this morning's show to Peter Rufai, aka Dodo Mayana. So just sit back and enjoy as we celebrate. We are mourning, but we are also going to celebrate the life of this young, great superhero who did so much for the country. This morning show, I am going to have very special music. For the first time, I am being a little bit religious and will be playing some deep spiritual songs. I've selected one lady who will deliver all those songs for us this morning. Her name is Carrie Underwood. Her music is very enchanting, so we'll listen to that this morning. I have an editorial which is also dedicated to Dodo Mayana, and after that we are going to have a conversation. My guests are two very, very close friends of mine. I've advertised them already. Nelly Slyva. Yes, she's getting ready. And we have Alhassan Yakmut. We know him. He's a veteran of sports administration in Nigeria. We'll be meeting both of them later in the show. And of course, we'll be having telephone calls. It will be an opportunity for the public to call and pay their own little tribute to Peter Rufai or any one of our past heroes. So you have that opportunity. Take down the numbers now: 0700 2255 1037 or 081 27 82 8497. I'll be repeating those numbers later in the show. Okay, so just get ready for a truly wonderful show this morning. We are going to go on a short break.
TMTC is the option for pregnant woman with HIV. No go lose God, the baby can be HIV. Opportunity. TMTC is the option for the only option. Pregnant woman with HIV. No baby can be HIV.
Oh yes, a woman living with HIV can give birth to a HIV-free baby. With the right care, treatment, and supports, all you need to do is go to the nearest health center and start your PMTCT services today. Our trained health workers are ready to care for you and your baby with love, respect, and confidentiality. So, what are you waiting for? Take the bold step now. PMTCT is free, it is safe, and could save a life. Early detection saves lives. For more information and support, call us now on 6222. It is free. This message is brought to you by the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, with partnership from the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Wow. On July 28th, this month, we shall be paying special tributes to 3 of our heroes. Well, 4 of our heroes, actually. Moses F. Young, Charles Bassey, Christian Chukwu, Obisi Anwakpa, and Peter Rufai, 5 of them. at the Nigeria Institute of International Affairs in Victoria Island, Lagos. It's going to be a terrific event, one that we have started planning towards. I have my guests. They are here. And let me start from the veteran. No, ladies first, they say. So let me start from this. She's not a veteran. She will soon be a veteran. She's been in the business for so long, it is unbelievable. She's one of the brightest minds when it comes to the subject of sports and football in particular. She's a sports journalist. You hardly see her. You hear her very, very well. She used to be on TV. And I wanted her to be part of the sports parliament. You remember the sports parliament? She actually came in there once or twice. 2 days ago, she wrote this beautiful story about her encounter with Peter Rufai. And I called her up and said, look, join me this morning and tell us a little of that story. So let me welcome, unmute your phone, Nelly Slyva, a sports journalist par excellence. Nelly, good morning.
Good morning, Big Shakes. It's a pleasure to be here.
Already you are, okay, I see that you are in the library. This woman reads, so it was that word, ferociously. The woman reads, she writes, she speaks sports and so on. Good morning once again.
Good morning, Big Shakes.
Very good. Very good. And, well, all the way from his district, he's the district head of Chanso in Plateau State, veteran administrator. I see he's there, but I can't see his face. So please put on your video so that we can see your face, even if it's briefly, but because this is being streamed live. This is the man that I worked with for, so I've known him all my life. You know, I grew up in Jos. And in sports administration, there's no way you could have encountered him. His last position was as Director General of the in the Ministry of Sports, and he was also in the National Sports Commission. Now he's Seriki, he's a king, he's the district head of Chanso in Plateau State. Alhassan Yakmut. Good morning, Yakmut.
Good morning, Big Sheikh. I'm so sorry. I'm not as digital as you are. You might not be able to see my face, but I'm all the way in touch with you from Plateau State.
Very good, very good, very good. Well, you know, it would have been wonderful to see your face because, as you know, this program is being streamed live. And with technology, you can see, you can hear. Radio is not just hearing the voice anymore. It is also about seeing the face and all that. But if that would disturb our signals of, you know, you don't have all those.
I'll go ahead and be looking for myself on video with you. Okay. While Nelly speaks.
Okay, that's fantastic. I was going to hail you how I used to hail you, which is Dodo. Dodo. You know, you also, for some reason, we hail you Dodo, Mayana. Why do you share the same nickname with Peter Rufai? I've never asked you that.
Exactly, Dodo, Mayana Dodo. I got this story from him directly.
Fantastic. Why do we hail you also as Dodo to start with?
Honestly speaking, we use Dodo with you as a slogan in Hausa, as one of the determined sportsmen who always want to make sure that they are on the winning side rather than on the losing side. So in Hausa, it means Dodo. That means a hard-fighting player.
Wow.
But in Spanish, Dodo Mayana was actually, he told me they went on a training session and all the spectators were shocked to find out that he couldn't allow any goal to pass through him throughout the training session in Barcelona. And then the community support fans were just saying that let's do it again tomorrow. And in Spanish, let's do it again means de novo Mayana.
Wow.
So he, as a Nigerian, said Dodo Mayana, which is like tomorrow we're eating Dodo. So it became de novo. Mayana means Mayana de novo. That means he said tomorrow we're going to do it again. So that was how Dodo Mayana came. It is de novo Mayana in Spanish.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, I saw that one TV station or something, also carried an interview where he just said what you said now. Dodo Mayana. And of course, there was a day, I think, was it in Tunisia? We went out together, yourself, myself, Dodo, and so on, into one market. And I don't even remember. But that was one of the best periods during the Nations Cup, I think, for us at that time.
Yes, I think it was the 94 Nations Cup. Or...
Yes, 94 Nations Cup. Yeah, it was 94 Nations Cup. And I don't remember the details, but...
the guy is always a pleasant company to be. When I was DG, we wanted to open an academy at the base of the National Stadium in Surulere. But again, we had already established contact with contractors to start renovating the place. And I was telling him, what will we do? Barely weeks after you want to set up the academy there, and we're asking you to move. Why don't you look for an alternative place? He had to come to Abuja for a serious meeting on how to assist in getting the alternative place. Unfortunately, the two things couldn't take place because of circumstances beyond our control. But again, I tell you, Big Sheikh, this guy was just fantastic. He was just everything about trying to get his replacement in numbers as best goalkeepers that Nigeria could produce. I'm trying to recall particularly the name of that Tunisian market that we were. Each time we meet with you in international competitions, we don't part. We try to also find out what are the culture of the people and things that could lead to a good partnership between Nigeria and the country that we happen to find ourselves.
Well, that's officially. Unofficially, all the things that you taught me, don't let me come here now and start.
I'm a graduate of your School of Social Life.
Alhassan, be very, very careful this morning. Be very, very careful. But
let me speak like a Royal Highness.
Oh boy! But how big a loss? How big a loss? Oh, okay. Before the loss, how big really is Peter Rufai in the story of Nigerian football? In your reckoning, Peter Rufai, how big is he in our story?
Big Sheikh, I don't know what kind of parameter to quantify or to measure the size of Peter Rufai in Nigerian football. But let me just tell you how I feel as an administrator, an ex-administrator, and a big sports person for life. Peter was so unique socially, even in his dressing, in his communication. He tries to make sure that whatever he does had some touch of finesse that will make sure that records show that Peter has passed through that. And when he was trying to establish himself after his active career, he made sure that all his previous colleagues and teammates were involved. Then during Jonathan's regime, I was coordinating the ex-international football players for a program in Eagle Square. My job was to provide smooth passage for them from the airport to their hotel of residence and to Eagle Square, where the venue of the event was to take place. And they were also to have a handshake with Mr. President on the podium at the Eagle Square. And he granted an interview that shows that there was something lacking in the connect between an ex-international player and the system. So he wanted it reviewed. So when I was hearing your preview actually returned me to his comments, which I think it should be revisited, especially how you are kickstarting with a foundation that will conduct a research regarding the health challenges of ex-international players, particularly those that represented Nigeria. I think we will also assist in making sure that the foundation goes into partnership with the institutions that are officially part of government in developing sports in Nigeria. So the size of Dodo Mayana, Peter Rufai, I think is a global size that we must find a way of institutionalizing this name in order to serve as a role model for every intending sports person.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Alhassan. Well, Nelly, you've been listening to us. An angel. Nelly is an angel, and she wrote this beautiful piece yesterday to me on her relationship with Dodo. So welcome once again, and maybe it's about time you just told us about Peter Rufai and your encounter or encounters with him. Very briefly. Go ahead, Nelly.
Thank you, Big Shakes. Good morning once again. Okay, so the striking thing about Peter Rufai, when you first meet him, how easygoing he is, how he gives everyone a sense of belonging. He makes it easy for you to relate with him. So there's no hairs about him. I can't believe I'll be speaking about him in the past tense. I'm still coming to grasp with, his demise is really painful. It's annoying, especially the way he left. So that particular encounter in 2017 at Barrister Seyi Akinwumi's charity event, which doubled as his birthday celebration. He's been it for over 10 years now. So I met Dodo Mayana for the first time in 2017, December, 29th of December 2017. So I was going into one of the changing rooms at campus mini stadium, where the events held that year, to get water for the legends that was going to play an exhibition game that day. So I didn't know that as I was heading into the changing room, that someone was already following me, following behind me. So I picked up the pack of bottled water and I turned and I almost stumbled into this towering figure. Dodo Mayana was over 6 foot. So
and you like them tall. You like them tall.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you clearly. I said, and you like them tall.
Exactly. So if you stand where Dodo is, especially if you're 5 feet like me, it makes you look short. So I had to look up at who is the. I said, this is Peter Rufai. I wanted to scream, but I quickly maintained composure. I said, no, I'm at an elite event. We cannot behave like where I come from. I grew up in the streets. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so do you need anything? I said, smiling at him, do you need anything? So he said, no, that he doesn't need anything, that he just wanted to, seize the moment and tell me that that he watches me on TV. Then at that period, I was really active on TV. So he said he watches me on TV and that he liked my eloquence and that I'm beautiful too. So I was taken aback with surprise and later immense pleasure. I'm like, I said, whoa, thank you very much. That my goodness, I mean, someone that grew up, watching one of my father's heroes, because I was still very young when he was making exploits for the national team, but I grew up reading about him and we shared that common, I and my late father, God bless his soul, we shared that common passion for the Super Eagles. So I'm like, okay, someone I grew up learning about, is telling me that he likes my work. It was really humbling, and I thanked him profusely. So he said, "Oh, that no problem. That I should keep up the good work, and that I'm destined for the top." So that stuck with me. That really stuck with me. So I'm like, okay, thank you very much. Can I have a picture? So I said that he was actually coming to get a picture, but since I've asked that we should, have it. So, and that picture was, taken, and I made sure to keep that picture somewhere safe in my archive. So I'll make sure not to lose it. It's a moment I'm gonna cherish for the rest of my life. Dodo was, one thing I love about Dodo is how down to earth he is. Despite his legendary status, despite his achievement, he's someone who doesn't rub those achievements in your face. He had this calm me, and this. It gives everyone that sense of belonging. It's just those little things that, I really love about him. And knowing who he was, he wouldn't want us to mourn him. He would want us to celebrate him, celebrate his life, celebrate, his achievement. So I really hope we really do that. I really hope the government of the day, erect monument in his honor, name monument in his honor, as he deserves to be immortalized. He gave his all. There's one thing I know about Dodo Mayana is the fact that he gave his all, for this country. So he deserves to not just be celebrated, but honored. And I hope the government of the day do the needful on that.
Wow. Thank you, Nelly. Thank you. Look, without question, he is the most successful and the most accomplished goalkeeper in our history. Remember, he won the Nations Cup, went to the World Cup. He kept goal for most of the World Cup. He was our first captain at the World Cup, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. Dodo, this is technical. Dodo, are you there? Dodo is not there. Okay, Nelly. This is rather technical. Sure. Would you think, I'm putting you on the spot, unfortunately. Would you think that even though he's the most successful and most accomplished, in your reckoning, was it the best goalkeeper that you know in our history? Was he the best? Look at the other goalkeepers. This is technical. I'm sorry, but we are celebrating him. Not say because he's passed, we will not say it the way we feel. If you ask me, for example, even though Okala is my very good friend, he was brilliant, best to get. He did so well. I just think at the back of my mind that Vincent Enyama was, the complete goalkeeper. He could play it. He could, he didn't fly like Peter Fregene, or was just confident like Peter Rufai and all that. Anyway, what do you think? How do you rate? In terms of his goalkeeping powers?
Wow, Big Shakes, you're putting me on the spot now because Peter wasn't. It's not only Peter that is my friend, though. Ikechom is also my friend. Vincent is also my friend. So it's going to be difficult to really respond to this. But if I'm not going to be biased, I would say in comparison to others, I would say definitely Dodo Mayana is actually the best. And I'm not saying this now because he just recently passed, or just to just make things look good. No. I believe he's actually the best, and this is not taking anything away from the other greats that we have, Ikechom, Vincent, but there's this thing that Peter had that I believe others did not have. That he had this towering figure, the last line of defense. He had this presence that, when seeing him alone, you're going to be sure that, okay, we have this part, of our team covered. It's not like, he considered goals, of course, but for most parts, he was invaluable, and his presence in that last line of defense, his agility, those stoking saves that he made, I believe he towers above the rest. And I don't say it very lightly, and this is not taking anything away from the others because they're also my friends.
Did you ever watch?
But yeah,
did you
ever
watch?
Best.
Did you ever watch 6'5" or 6'6" Emmanuel Okalango? Did you ever watch him?
No, I did not.
No,
of course, I was young when.
So I forgive you. I forgive you because you say.
But documentaries. I've seen documentaries on him.
Okay, I tell you, if you are a player on the field of play, and Emmanuel Okala is in goal, either you are defending the goal or you are trying to score him or something. His presence there is the most intimidating thing that players at that time felt anywhere. Because we were not used to seeing goalkeepers that tall. And when you looked into his eyes, his eyeballs were like 1,000 kilowatts power. And he looked so aggressive that some of us never scored him during a regular time, during a game, whether in training or in a match. We never, ever scored him. And he had our list. It's like... I'm number one. And he would always tell Thompson Usinye that Thompson would never score him. He had that kind of imposing figure. And again, did you watch Best Togedegbe? Did you watch him?
No, I did not.
This was confidence. This was confidence that verged on arrogance. The way that he would stay in goal, he would walk out of goal, he would challenge attackers, Peter Rufai copied from Okala, copied from Best. I listened to one of his interviews, copied from Okala, copied from Best Togedegbe, copied from Peter Fregene when he joined the national team. So he was all of those three combined. That was what Peter Rufai. So you are correct in your assessment. But having said that, unfortunately we can't get to Dodo. But Peter Rufai, after his career, nobody is really sure how well he did. But you see, I was amazed when I went to the hospital, Federal Medical Center, and they told me he had been there and I wanted to see him. And what they just told me was that, although they had discharged him the day before or so, they said when he was there, they did not allow people to see him at his own directive. That he didn't want a force. He didn't want people to, talk about him, contribute, do all those things. Didn't want it.
Yeah.
And I just felt, how successful was he? We don't monitor those things. We just take players for granted. We think they have a good team, so they are doing well. I don't know, really. Even as close as I was to him, I don't know how. Do you know? Outside of play.
To be honest, that part of his life is what he kept really, really private. And just like you said about the encounter at the hospital, when I chanced on a video of his back in March, at an event, I said, no, this is not, Dodo is not looking well to me, and I checked through my contact. I'm like, oh, I've lost his contact. So I now reached out to one of my elders in the sports media in Nigeria, Deji Omotoyibo. So I started him up. I said, when last did you hear from Dodo? Because he was a regular on your program, and all of a sudden I stopped seeing him. What's going on with him? So and I saw a video of his, recently, and he didn't look good to me. So it was then that he confirmed what I thought, that what I feared, that he was battling an ailment. I'm like, hey. That, oh my God, I hope he's not terminal. So eventually I got his contact, Dodo's contact, and I reached out to him. He sounded really, really down. So we spoke at length. I now suggested, after the end of our conversation, that can let's run a public fundraising, we can still salvage this. He did not even want to hear of it. He refused. He said he doesn't want it. He doesn't want a public force. I doesn't want to burden anyone. I tried all I could, and my takeaway at that point was he was already giving up on life. at that point. So subsequently, I kept in touch until I lost track in the last 1 or 2 months. And reading about his passing 2 days ago was devastating. And his life after football, his investment. I don't think I know much about it. He hardly discussed it, so I don't know.
Well,
he hardly discussed it.
Thank you, Nelly. If you are listening to us, this is Eagle 7 Sports Radio, 90 minutes with mathematical, and we're discussing Dodo Mayana this morning. You'll be able to make your telephone calls later, and our conversation is on Dodo Mayana. And I have with me Nelly Slyva. We had Alhassan Yakmut, but I know he's in his village in Chanso in Plateau State, where we may have technical issues. He has disappeared from our radar, but I hope he joins us before the end of the show. Once again, the telephone numbers you can reach us on, because you can now start to call, is 0700 2255 1037 or 081 27828497. I have a caller already. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Big Sheikh.
How are you this morning? What's your name and where are you calling from?
By the grace of God, I'm fine, but not too happy.
You're not too happy?
My name is Resident. Yes, my name is Resident President calling from LA.
Okay, I didn't hear
I
that.
am not happy at the remains of our great goalkeeper and the way our retired athletes are being taught in this country. I know death is inevitable to everyone. I'm not wishing anyone dead, but I wish Mr. Death can kill those who are running our football and who are running our country into losing our able men who have served this country with all their strength and all they have. If you look at the last few years, the number of sportsmen we lose are greater than the number of sportsmen who retire and succeed. And you can see this our politicians flying abroad, taking good care of themselves, retiring home, still enjoying our money and our wealth, and our athletes are dying without being taken care of. For Canada, who will have a goalkeeper like Peter Rufai and losing in our own generation that will be happy? NFS and the government stop owing our athletes. They don't know how they feel after they retire from the green grass. They don't have any pension or any salary given to them apart from pay them as invited. You will retire from office, you will extort money, you will put yourself and your children in position. You forgot those who have even all sacrificed to achieve the success who you are installing for and deny them the right to live healthy. It is so painful. It is so painful. I am not happy. I'm not happy with the benefits. I'm not happy with the government of Nigeria. The way our athletes are dying. It's not fair. It's not fair. You are killing our future. Just like give birth to a child and kill that child yourself. It could have been better if you don't have that child than having a child and killing. That is what NFF and the government is doing to us. Thank you. I pray may so rest in peace.
Thank you, Reverend.
Amen.
Thank you very much. I observe that my personal phone has been ringing, and KBAC is on it. I cannot answer the phone. So if you want to reach me, the number again is 0700 2255 1037. That's where to reach me, and then we can have this conversation on the radio. So don't call my personal line, for the rest of this show. So, Nelly, as a journalist now, why do retired? There's another call. Let's just take that. I hope it's hello.
Hello. Good morning, Big Sheikh.
Good morning.
I am sad.
Who are we speaking with?
My name is Shode. I'm calling you from Abeokuta.
Chief Shode from Abeokuta.
Our great heroes, they are dying and they are dead. I am using this opportunity to talk to the new generation sports person that are making good money all over the world. They should think about their future. Sport has a limitation. It is people like you, Big Sheikh, world number 7. See the day you have left football, you've not left footballing. And you are still making impact. And you are doing great things. Sir, how much did you make during your playing time? And you still make yourself relevant up to today. Baba, kudos to you. And we've seen all your efforts that you go all around to get in touch with all those old players to make them relevant. But you did not make money then, no. All you made was your name, which you still retain up to today. Sir, I'm using this medium to talk to able players that are doing great things in the world. They don't need all these material things that they are putting their money into. Buying big cars, wristwatches, then you'll be quantifying the number, the amount of your wristwatch. What will happen in the next 10, 20 years? Have a lovely day, my brother.
Thank you, Chief Shode. Thank you for your very kind words. Nelly, are you there? Aha. Good to know you are there. We can't get Seriki Alhassan Yakmut anymore, but you have to unmute again. You have to unmute yourself so we can hear you. Aha.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes. You know, as a journalist, you heard Chief Shode there, lamenting about the plight of our retired athletes and so on. And it is really, really worrisome. It is worrisome. And I don't know, when you look at that, our own world from outside, what do you see? What do you see about retired athletes?
Okay. Well, the new generation footballers, I feel like they should learn from. I hate to say it, the mistakes of the past. You understand? We can say, okay, we can say government should do what they have to do to honor our athletes. But our athletes themselves, especially the footballer, they have to make hay while the sun shines. You understand? Because a footballer's lifespan is very, very short. Very extremely short. So while you are at your prime, especially, and the money is rolling in, you invest properly. And that's what some of our footballers didn't exactly do. Past and even present. The present ones and even the coming ones, they have to learn from the mistakes of the past. While that money is rolling in, invest in sustainable ventures. Things that we bring in. We bring in income, money long after retirement. You understand? And also, there's also the need of the need for education. The importance of education cannot be emphasized enough. I love what some of these new generation footballers are doing. Some of them, they balance football and schooling. We've seen the likes of Wamata, we've seen the likes of is it Bonucci? Bonucci, his father is a professor, so that one is normal. We've seen the likes of I think PK also got a degree recently. Yeah, so that education also helps as well. So our footballers also need to understand the need to get an education, either while in active service or even in retirement. So it's also it also gives you an idea, on what and how to invest and how to surround yourself, with people who have your interest at heart. So that life after football, life in retirement is very, very long. And I wish it's something the new generation footballer have at the back of their mind, because a footballer's life is very, very short. Very, very, very short. So why that money keep rolling in? They make hay while the sun shines, because the government doesn't, past and present and even the future, I don't think they really care about us. So it's self-preservation first.
Okay, I agree with you, but one thing that we all lack, this is not just about football, it's about sports people generally. One thing we all lack is information. When you are young, you go into sports and suddenly you become famous, you become rich. What you don't have is the training in entrepreneurship, in what to go into. Yeah. No matter how rich you are, if you go into the wrong business or you're unfortunate to invest in something that is not, futuristic in terms of its fortunes, then, you run into trouble. So we need opportunities where we can learn, where we can be counseled, where we can be guided. But we have this caller. Let's take this call. Hello? No, it's gone. So that information is missing in our structure, and then of course, the previous generations didn't make the kind of money that you can now start thinking to invest in anywhere. What kind of money did we make? We didn't make any money. We didn't make any money whatsoever. So let's take this call. Good morning. Yes, good morning.
Morning. I am Tom Onyobo.
Tom Oyobo.
Yes, I was with you at the All-Africa Games in Algiers.
Okay, in Algiers.
Yes. Yes, when we lost that final to Algeria.
Yes.
I was sorry with you. I was in cycling then.
You were in cycling. Tom Oyobo in cycling.
Yes.
Fantastic. And you were at the All Africa Games in 1978.
Yes. I live here in Abeokuta.
Very good. So go ahead.
I just want to thank you for bringing up this program.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well done, bro.
So go ahead. Do you have any contributions to make?
Yeah. I just want to share with what the last caller said.
Chief Shodende.
Chief Shodende. That our athletes will be able to make for the heyday while the sun shines.
Okay.
So, thank you for this program.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Right.
I hope you are still cycling.
I'm over 70 now, so I just did weekend.
Wow. Old man. Oh. So Nelly, as I was saying, we need this kind of education, counseling, and so on. And, that's part of what I intend to go into now, to try and establish something where, an institution where people can get information, we do research, we archive the past, we do all of those things, provide information and training and programs, so that we stop blaming government. Government cannot do everything. You see?
Exactly.
Yeah, but they have their own responsibilities also, but they can't do everything. Okay. So
I agree.
There's a lady also that sent me a very interesting tribute. It will take a few minutes, but I just feel that I need to read part of it. But we have a caller. We have a caller. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's a great honor to speak to you, sir, for the first time in my life.
And your name is Slyva?
I'm Mr. Yeni. I'm calling from Abeokuta.
Okay, Mr.
Yes, I started following Peter Rufai way back at Morocco 88.
Okay.
The Nations Cup 88. So that was when I started following it. And then his death is such sad in Nigeria today. So looking at our past heroes that died, and I don't know, it's just too sad. It's just too sad. Just too sad. I pray that God will keep the family and everyone that is connected with him.
Yes. Amen.
So,
Amen.
First time caller, but regular listener.
Well done. Yori.
It's an honor once again to speak to you, sir.
Thank you. I'm honored too. Thank you very much.
God bless you, sir.
Keep listening to Eagle 7 Sports Radio.
Yes, sir. No problem, sir.
All right. So this lady wrote this tribute. It is just incredible. Her name is Claire. Okay. But the phones will not even stop ringing. Let me take this call. Hello? Okay. Her name is Claire Adelabu Abdulrazak, and she works with NTA. She works with NTA, and she just sent this to me, and it was so beautifully scripted that I just can't resist, not reading it. And it says, I will not read all of it. It says, "Good night, Dodo Mayana." They called him Dodo Mayana, and for very good reason. With a face both gentle and fierce, fearless in its focus. Only victory could tease a smile from him. Yet behind those battle-worn eyes was a man of soft words and a gentle soul. I'm not a footballer, just an admirer. Whether it was the Green Eagles, the legendary Super Eagles, or even today's Gen Z Super Eagles, keepers like Emmanuel Okala, Bestu Gidegbede, and Peter Rufai always caught my attention. Dodo Mayana, the one with the face that startled strikers. That's what Westerhoff, or was it Bonfred Joe, used to say. His gloves turned goalposts into sacred territory. Peter Rufai, Westerhoff's trusted charm between the sticks. The living wall who didn't just stop goals, he defended the nation's dreams. He was the last line of defense, and often the first name we chanted. No penalties too sharp, no headers too deadly. Yet behind the gloves was royalty, a prince of Idimu in Lagos, son of a monarch, a man of aristocratic roots, and still he chose football. He chose sweat, stadiums, and sacrifice over palaces and protocol. Where others might have blown the roof off with pride and arrogance, Rufai walked humbly, held high, letting his brilliance speak louder than his birthright. In 1994, Dodo Mayana wore the captain's band with pride, leading Nigeria to her first ever FIFA World Cup appearance on US soil. And in France 98, Rufai, still donning the number 1 jersey, stood tall like a colossus. He commanded the post and led the Super Eagles to the round of 16 twice. Dodo Mayana, you didn't just stop goals, you made history. You didn't just wear gloves, you carried the nation's hopes. From the green fields of Lagos to the world's grandest football stages, you etched your name as one of Nigeria's greatest goalkeepers. And yes, Dodo Mayana, you are one of my favorites. At 61, you should have been mentoring young aspiring keepers, watching them rise while basking in the quiet glory of a well-played professional career. But alas, the final whistle has blown. One cannot help but ask, did help come when it mattered most? Who reached out to you? Or were you too left to go the way of many who pass in quiet penury? If it were possible, we would have held back the powers that bound you, the sickness that left you helpless and hapless, with dreams left unfinished, potential still unfolding. But now the gloves are down eternally. The legend rests. Sleep well, Dodo Mayana. Your saves live on. Claire. Wow. God bless you. God bless you. God bless
That was
you,
a very beautiful, heartwarming, and so stirring tribute.
This is absolutely beautiful. You tell me about what you heard me read. This is beautiful. By the way, just before we go on, in my editorial, there was an error. I said that the match we played against stationery stores may have been in 1979 or 78. No, I don't think it was. I've thought about it again. I think it was in 1980 or 81, because that was when Peter Rufai came up to join people like Stephen Keshi and Henry Wonsu and that their group. They met us in the national team and we dealt with them, Sha. We dealt with them. We showed them pepper.
Big shakes.
Yes, we showed them. I showed Peter Rufai pepper. It was my goal against him in that match that they used to invite him to the national team. But I scored that goal against him, and stationery stores people would never forgive me for it. But who cares? Yes. Nelly, thank you so much. Once again, the telephone number is 0700 2211 551037. 22551037. And this is Eagle 7 Sports Radio. And we're reaching you from Wasimi in Abeokuta. And my very special guest is a very special girl, beautiful Nelly. First-class journalist, a deep thinker, and I just respect her so much. Maybe the public will convince her to come and join us here on Eagle 7 Sports Radio. But that's aside. One thing about Peter that you mentioned in passing. Peter was very, very close to me. He never refused all the invitations that I sent him to be a part of something. And one of those invitations, I know he benefited from seriously. But I didn't know much about him. His family, where he lived, and, that aspect of him. Very few people knew.
Morning.
Good morning.
My name is Adeni.
Chief Adeni, good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling from Olujobi.
Olujobi, okay. A pleasure. So,
it's a very painful thing to me when I heard that the Dodo Mayana of all people, Peter Rufai, is gone. It touches me.
At a young age, again, at 61. At a young age, at 61.
It's not. It's uncalled for. I don't know why our footballers not. Because before Rashidi Yekini, right?
Yes.
Very young.
Yes. Uche Okafor.
I remember when
very
I first
young.
of all know Peter Rufai. I first of all know Peter Rufai, let me say, Odias 90. Was he in the squad?
Yes,
no,
he was.
94.
He was in Odias.
90.
Yes, he was there.
Odias 90. Senegal 92, Tunisia 94.
Yes.
Everything about Peter Rufai disappeared 1998.
Yes.
It's uncalled for. Please, I don't know. What do you think we are supposed to do? We are not doing. I'm trying to pinpoint. I'm just looking at this thing. How is this thing happening? Why?
Well, I don't know the question you are asking because death is inevitable. No, death is inevitable.
No, I know death is inevitable, but at the same time, if our people, if our footballers, if our sport, there is please, if our government is doing the right thing for them, I think they will be. They'll be living long. Okay, look at this guy, Liverpool guy that just died. You know that one is that, but how many of those?
Hello. We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
How many of those European footballers do you see died at the premature age?
Well, you know.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
No, you are right. You're right. You know, and it's not just the footballers. It's about retired athletes. Research needs to be done. I have said this over and over again. Of the 94 squad, 4 of them are gone. Of the 1980 squad, half of the team gone, if not more. In fact, more than half now gone. And most of these people died before they even turned 60. So this is not good commentary at all. It's not good commentary. Yeah, you know, the phone is just, look, we are running out of time. We've almost run out of time. So let me go to Nelly again so that we can just cap up our conversation for this morning. So Nelly, your final thoughts.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You will be our last caller this morning. You'll be our last caller.
Very fortunate today. My name is Akim Chomade, calling from Ladi in Abeokuta.
Okay.
It's rather unfortunate that we lost Peter Rufai at a very young age, and it has been happening all along. I want to thank you very much, sir, for the program we are about to do to honor the departed sportsmen and women. And I think we should all be our brother's keeper. All footballers and sportsmen and women, they should be looking after each other. I think you should have the archive that you want to bring, their contact number, email address, and all those things should be involved. And apart from that, I think the government too, the issue of health insurance is very important. They should be doing this for them. Then, as Nelly mentioned, they have to do something about education. That one is also vital. I think if you can combine all these things and with the program they're about to do, may God continue to help you.
Amen.
So that all these our sportsmen and women will not die in vain.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for bringing up this program. We will continue to pray for you so that it will be more successful. Once again, I'm Akim Chomade calling from Ladin.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Nelly, for the information. Our Dodo Mayana, the man in the Plateau State, lawyer
Yakmut, yes.
By regards to you too.
Okay.
We enjoyed the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, Nelly, we are organizing on Monday, July 28th, 2025, a night of tribute. Have you been to the Wall of Fame? Nelly, have you been to the Wall of Fame?
Wall of Fame? Where's that?
Wow. I can't believe that you have not been to the Wall of Fame. This is the Sports Diplomacy Wall of Fame in Lagos, in Victoria Island. It's a wall erected in the premises of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, and it contains the names of some Nigerian sports heroes etched in gold on the wall there forever. It's a fantastic monument with a water fountain around it, and so on and so forth. It is a place every Nigerian should go and visit, because it sets an example of the kind of eternal edifice and monuments that we should be constructing and doing for our sports heroes. So you must visit. On Monday, the 28th of July, we're having a night of tribute. And Peter Rufai will also be included in that program.
Okay.
It's going to be a global program. It's going to be seen all over the world as we pay tribute to some of those our stars that are gone. Okay? So, your final thoughts on today's program, Nelly. I want to thank you very, very much for accepting to appear on today's morning. But your final thoughts.
Okay, so final thoughts. First it was just like the last caller said, I want to appreciate you for the venture you're about to take on. It's not going to be easy, but knowing you, big shakes, you always get things done, no matter what, no matter the obstacles. So I know this is yet another venture that you're going to actualize, and I can only pray that God provide the necessary resources that is needed to actualize this. So yeah, so, and I'll be praying for you as well, looking out for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So those are your final words. You are praying for me. Amen. Amen. Yes, it's very true. You know, out of frustration, out of exhaustion out of fatigue of these incessant calls for help, for this, for that, for all our athletes, including myself, because I also need help despite what you see optically. There is a need for us to do something. And we've been calling on governments and so on for so long. And it just doesn't make sense that we continue to do only that and not take control over our own fate. That's why, I have decided that, I should set up what is going to be called SOS Foundation. SOS Foundation. And that's the Segun Odegbami Sports Foundation. And it just fits into it. And this is all a dream I just had things I'm thinking about in the past few days, that I need to put it down. We need to archive, we need to document, we need to write, we need to save and store and restore, all our story. We need to do research into why our athletes are dying young, why we are not doing so well, and so on and so forth. We need to institutionalize our sport generally and provide a pathway for the young ones who are coming, to show them, to guide them, to counsel them, teach them about leadership and so on and so forth. So those are the things that this foundation would do. And I've been thinking of foundation for a long time, but never ever did I settle to say I would do it. But now I think I am led to do it, and I'm going to do it. And I just pray that the creator of the universe will guide me into that path, and that Nigerians will join me in this our small effort to right some of the wrong. We cannot change the world, but we can make a little bit of a difference. So that's what I am trying to do with the foundation. So just watch out. Nigerians, watch out for it. It's coming. And it will be done by the special grace of God. And we are going to ease the pain of retired athletes generally, particularly international athletes, in our own little way. So that's the news. That's the show. Today I went a little bit spiritual. I started playing gospel music, and I loved the songs that we listened to by Carrie. What's her name now? Yeah, let me look at her name. Underwood. Lovely songs. Yeah. So, and we are going to end on that note too. We hope that as those songs are lifted up to heaven, the angels will come out and welcome all our heroes to heaven, where they are forming teams. They are forming teams in heaven, I believe. And that team will have Peter Rufai in goal, Wilfred Agbonibare as the substitute, Stephen Keshi and Christian Chukwu, center halves, one hero, the other. Oh, that would be a beautiful thing to happen in heaven, It's a lovely thought. So, Peter Rufai, Dodo Mayana, on behalf of all Nigerians. We are lifted. We thank you for your service to the country. We hand you over to the creator of the universe to take charge over. We pray that you will rest peacefully wherever you are. into eternity.
Amen.
Into eternity. And all of those that are alive, we pray that God will continue to guide us, give us the strength to serve our country, serve our families, to serve humanity as a whole, and so that all will be well. That's all we just pray for, that all will be well. On that note, join us again next week, Saturday, when we come your way again with another masterpiece of a program. By the way, this station, I can't go without saying, this station suddenly has become number two station in Ogun State. When you combine the listenership of Ogun and Lagos, the little parts of Lagos we reach, we are actually number one. And that's in April. We are looking for the ratings in May. So we thank the Almighty God for all that He's doing for us in our lives. Bye, until next week.
Everyone has a place they need to be. Everyone has a face they need to see. When you go away, you love to fly, and we fly you safely through the sky. Ticket affordable, city comfortable, we very reliable, we care for you. At peace, our home. If you're gonna fly, then you should fly with us on air peace. TMTC is the option for pregnant woman with HIV. No go lose God, the baby can be HIV. Opportunity, TMTC is the option for the only option. Pregnant woman with HIV. No get baby can be HIV.
Oh yes, a woman living with HIV can give birth to a HIV-free baby. With the right care, treatment, and supports, all you need to do is go to the nearest health center and start your PMTCT services today. Our trained health workers are ready to care for you and your baby with love, respect, and confidentiality. So, what are you waiting for? Take the bold step now. PMTCT is free, it is safe, and could save a life. Early detection saves life. For more information and support, call us now on 6222. It is free. This message is brought to you by the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, with partnership from the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
I am Peter Rufai, aka Dodo Mayana. You are listening to Eagle 7 Sports Radio, 103.7 FM.